Hey guys, it's Mike, and in this video we're going to work on to bring actually something on the screen. So we're going to get a window at the end of this tutorial, and we're going to have a little bit of a structure so we can work on our game a little bit better. So let's start by creating a new class, and I'm going to name it game. This is going to be our base class for our game. So it's going to be abstract because we're going to inherit from this. And this class is going to contain the game loop and some methods we're going to inherit, some virtual methods. So let's start with the constructor. And in the constructor we're going to take a width, a height, a title, and yeah. So we'll need a window. Actually first import the SFML window, graphics and window. So we're going to declare a render window as protected, so we can use it in our inherited class. I'm going to call it just window, and let's actually initialize this. So new video mode using width, height, our title. I'm going to choose styles.close, so we cannot resize our window. Maybe we'll implement it later. Alright. So that's it for the window initialization. Now we'll create a run method, public void run. We're going to call this from our program class, and this is going to contain our actual game loop. So this is so our game is going to run as long as the game window is opened. So while window.is open, we're going to do our stuff, our game. And we'll need some more methods. I'll create some abstract methods protected. So we need to inherit from them, otherwise we'll get errors. Protected abstract void load content. In this method we're going to load our content, our textures, our sounds and everything. And a initialize method, a update or tick method, we're going to write our game logic in, and a draw or render method. Alright, so when we call run, we first would like to load our game content, then initialize our game, and in the loop we'd like to update and render our game, of course. And to actually bring something on the screen, we'll need to swap our buffers using display. So everything we have drawn in our render method will actually now transfer on the screen using the display method. Before tick, we'll need to handle our events. Events like if the window is closed, like X'd out like this, if a key was pressed, if mouse input, joystick input and everything, window resize, all these are events that will be dispatched using this method. We will handle them in a later stage. And what we're missing is a clear color. So just declare clear color and also take it as a parameter. We're just going to say this, that clear color equals to clear color. And it's also important to clear the screen before we actually render stuff to our screen. So everything that was rendered in the last frame is going to get discarded using a color, which we'll define now actually in a different class. So we're going to create our actual game class. I'm just going to call it RPG. So this is where all our magical stuff will happen. We're going to inherit from game. This is our main class for our game. So let's start with the constructor. Call the base constructor, and I'll just pass in some values. 800 by 600, RPG title, and don't forget to import the SFML stuff. Use SFML graphics and window. And I'm just going to pick color.cyan. Alright. Now we have to actually override some methods, like initialize, like these abstract methods we just declared in our game class. There we go. Get rid of these exceptions. Alright. So now to start our game, we'll need to go into our main method, our program entry point, and create a instance of our game. So I'm just going to call it RPG my game is new RPG, and just run it. So now what's going to happen is it's going to call this method. It's going to load our game content, initialize our game, and go into the game loop. So as long as the window is open, which opened in the constructor, we're going to dispatch events, update our game, and just render everything. And then the frame will end and it's going to repeat over and over again. And in here we'll be able to draw stuff or update stuff and so on. So let's look how this looks like. And it's working. We have our window, but we can't close it, so we need to implement that now. It's basically an event that we're dispatching over here. We just need to set it up, so I'm going to make a comment set up events, and I'm going to say window.closed. That's the event when the window is X'd out, or you press Alt F4, or if just the application closes. Plus equals, I'm just going to double hit tab, so it's going to generate a method for me. And I'm putting this down here, and I prefer to call this differently. I'm going to call it onClosed. And what we're going to do here, so this is going to execute if we X out the window, so we're just going to close our window. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, and that's it basically. Now we can X out our window. So I hope you like this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we're going to maybe get something on the screen or input handling. I'm not sure what I'm going to cover, but I'll see you in the next one.